Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to Crisis Watch, your weekly dose of analysis and observation of the awesome MOBA game type Infinite Crisis, featuring your favorite superheroes and super villains. We're basically focusing on a champion each week in this game that is in the closed beta. Truly an awesome MOBA type game. If you guys want to try it out, we'll need a key, but just tweet at MLG or head on over to the Infinite Crisis Facebook and they will hook you up. This week, it's all about Poison Ivy.
That's right, the mistress of nature, the plant lover, Batman's nemesis to many extents. A wonderful hero to watch, of course. She has a very diverse skill set, really fun to play.
Yeah.
And we'll learn more about her skill set because I actually got a chance to play a game and then sit down with one of the developers, Megan, also known as Zagnet from Turbine, and she kind of analyzed my play, made fun of me a couple times, did some foolish moves throughout the game. But it's a great segment to just kind of figure out how to play Poison Ivy.
Yeah, of course. Poison Ivy, kind of a support type champion.
I mean, you can build her a lot of different ways.
She can dish out a lot of damage if she wants to. I mean, you're going to see all about this against the show. It's all about Poison Ivy, but kind of that champion. Very flexible, very skill-based. Ultimate, probably one of the best ultimates out there. Massive AoE.
They've changed it a bit, though.
Yeah.
To kind of make it a little weaker.
Oh, okay. What did they change about it?
They've actually gotten rid of the heal.
Oh, really?
So
Wow.
it has a movement speed, so enemies in it move a little slower if you're in it, but it's mostly just a damage thing. It kind of like is
Combines
now
well with a lot of other ultimates.
Yeah, it's basically like a slightly weaker Joker ultimate. That's what I would say right now.
Sure.
But it was too strong before.
Right.
It still is very good, just not quite as insane as it used to be.
Yeah, Poison Ivy, very diverse, very fun champion to try out on Infinite Crisis. And I think without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the segment where Nick sat down with Megan, played a little bit of Poison Ivy. Let's check it out.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Crisis Watch here. And, of course, I played some Poison Ivy. And I'm going to be joined here by Zagnet from the Turbine crew. And she's going to teach me how to play the Mistress of Poisons in Nature just a little bit better. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty awesome. I'm excited because actually Poison Ivy was the first champion that I started playing when I worked at Turbine. So I've seen her through so many different stages. I really like where she is right now. So I'm hoping that I can give you some valuable advice. I'm hoping that you also used your skin because she looks beautiful in her skin. And if you didn't, I'm going to be sorely disappointed.
I didn't.
Oh, dang it. I should have known.
I used the old skin, just the default one. But anyways, why don't we just jump right into the game and check out some Poison Ivy play. All right, so here we can see I'm Poison Ivy. And before we get too far into this, what's your favorite amplifier and stolen powers to get for Poison Ivy?
So it definitely depends on how you want to play her. Depending on whether you want to play her as a support or more as like a support blaster, you should probably get, let's see, you can get Controller, which is going to be like regen. It's going to give you ups on Dr. Destiny's Dreamstone and stuff like that. Or you could get some sort of blaster mix where she gets Starheart augmented or anything like that. I usually go blaster route on her just because I feel like you can still support really well if you have a lot of power damage.
I mean, I figure you support by just killing their players, right?
Yeah, exactly. Which is the best way to support by, just killing the enemy team.
That's kind of my idea. So you can see I'm going for that endgame blaster amplifier. And I was checking out the skills, and I'm thinking, okay, if I'm going blaster, I should really focus on the blow kiss and deadly flora and the root attack, right? Because the thorn shield is scales off of your bonus will, which if I'm going the blaster route, I may not get quite as much of that extra will.
Exactly. And I mean, the Thorn Shield in its own right is powerful enough, especially the fact that it slows attackers when they hit you. You don't necessarily need to rank it up too much.
Just 1 point just to get that slow effect and a tiny bit of extra meat shield. For stolen powers, I've actually become addicted to super strength, so I kind of get
Yes, that's a good choice.
I just always get it. Doesn't matter who I am. Doesn't matter. I just like picking stuff up.
So Poison Ivy actually has an incredible combo with Super Strength due to her Root Strike. And since her Root Strike is a skill shot, if you can actually get somebody with Meteor, then immediately send out your Root Strike. It's basically just like this chain of CC. And I consider it a little bit too on the little bit too strong side, but others might disagree because it does take skill. You do have to line up that first skill shot, but if you get them with the Meteor and then you throw out your Root Strike and detonate it, they're knocked up from your Root Strike, and then they're knocked up from the Meteor and then the Root Strike. So it's kind of one of the most devastating combos that I can actually think of.
a lot of stun. Perhaps
Yeah.
only like Doomsday into a wall with a meteor or something might
Right.
be
That
stronger.
would even be more difficult to execute, though, you would think.
Yeah, you'd have to hit him with the meteor and then walk to a position where
Right.
you could then get that. But maybe the stun might not be long enough on the meteor to even get where you want to get.
Right.
So for starting items, I figure if I'm going blaster, just nil ring and Tektite vial is kind of is that the standard blaster?
That's a standard
starting?
start, and I definitely support that. Sometimes, that's like the sort of well-rounded start. If you knew where you wanted to head in terms of the artifacts that you wanted to get, you could have gotten, Dr. Destiny's Dreamstone. I like getting that on her. You could also get Amulet of Isis. Having, will regen is always something that's really good on her. And the supportiness of, the aura and everything is super effective.
So also for opening skills, actually, why don't you just talk about all of our skills really quickly for people who haven't, played Poison Ivy or know all of her abilities?
Sure. So her passive is this healing ring. Every 6th spell cast, it appears below her feet. There's a counter on it, right on it. It says 0 out of 6. Once it says 6 out of 6, once you cast the next one, you'll know that it'll appear right under your feet, and it's just like it heals over time, so it will heal you and your allies. Actually, it used to be a little less powerful, but when we changed her recently in the October update, she got that buffed a little bit, so people would focus more on her healing aspect as opposed to, her healing and damaging aspect. So you have to choose now a little bit between, scaling off of will or scaling off of power damage. So then her Q is the root strike, which I was talking about earlier. She tunnels this root, and then once it detonates, which you can choose to detonate it by pressing the skill again, it will knock people up in the center of it or just deal some pretty substantial AoE damage. It's great for wave clear, and it's great for, harassing enemies, but it does take a bit of getting used to with leading and knowing exactly where to detonate it. Her W, which is Blow Kiss, it blinds, and blinding in this game is reducing attack damage by 80%, so it's perfect for countering bruisers and marksmen. Then it only affects attack damage, though, so that's really important to remember. If you're using it on a blaster, you're probably not going to get as much effectiveness out of it. Her Thorn Shield is just something that she can stick on herself or an ally. It absorbs a lot of damage. Like you said, it scales off of will. So if you're veering her towards the support route, it'll severely one for one. It'll severely boost up her support potential. Other than that, her ultimate is pretty substantial right now. It will speed you up, slow down allies, and deal damage. It used to have a healing component, but we felt that all around that was a little bit too powerful because it seems to counter basically any AoE ultimate we had in the game, considering that it dealt damage over time and it healed. It was kind of just like you didn't even really have to think about it too much. You see the Joker ult, put the Ivy ult on top of it. You see the Wonder Woman ult, So now it has a little bit more counterplay, and it's more for, bringing your allies into the fight and damaging your enemies as opposed to just like this massive, crazy team heal. So effectively, she's all about controlling a fight, which is why if you're going to build her a support, you definitely want to grab some sort of controller sort of things, which is just, you almost hit with that. That definitely would have been a kill.
Almost. Not quite. The Atomic Wonder Woman on our team is very aggressive, so I've been trying to put damage on them as well. And you can see I opened with the Kiss ability that does damage and blinds.
Yep.
And I've been kind of focusing on that because it feels like that ability does a little more straight damage to a champion than the root ability.
It does, but since it's only single target,
yes,
you have to basically choose. I mean, if you want to level up Low Kiss, you have to make sure that you're focusing one person down, and it also has a steeper will cost in terms of the fact that if you level that, you're only dealing damage to one person, and you have significantly reduced wave clear. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely... I can feel I can't do too much against drones with the way I've been playing this, but at the same time, you're able to just push their champions back pretty easily.
For sure.
So for you, do you typically go for the wave clear and of course the AoE stun and everything with the roots, or do you typically favor focusing leveling up the Blow Kiss first?
Well, it definitely, like I said, depends on how you're playing her. When I play her as a support, I actually sometimes will just level her shield first because it absorbs so very much damage that it's one of those things where you don't really process it as the enemy. You're just like, you're trying to initiate, you're trying to deal lethal damage, and the shield is just absorbing everything. That and her passive are viable to level, but as a general rule of thumb, I think when I'm playing Poison Ivy, I like to level her Q just because the wave clear is intense, and being able to deal a sizable amount of damage to multiple targets once you learn how to aim with it and try to get a couple people caught in it is really good, especially for the disengage.
And that kind of makes sense if you're going with the super strength as well, so you can combine that a little bit.
Exactly.
For a little bit extra damage boost. So here I switch over to the top lane. My teammates were yelling at me saying they wanted me top. Which kind of makes sense because we have two melee people up top, so it's always good to have. Is that a general truth? It's always good to have one ranged person in the lane, just to.
Yeah, I mean it's not necessarily something that you're forced into doing, but it's definitely harder to be able to trade damage when you're in a lane as a melee person. So it's good to have somebody ranged. I mean, it doesn't matter whether they're power damage or attack damage. You have somebody up there who can hit people from afar, and it helps a lot in securing credits and not getting bullied out of all of your range of credits and experience and stuff like that.
So another question there is, I have this tendency when I see a trap that if I don't see anyone around, I just walk into it, just so I don't have to think about it anymore.
I think that's good.
Okay.
I think that you should do that. They generally expire after not too long of a time, but that's a good mentality. When you know that you're safe, you don't know that somebody else is going to walk through it later. So I think that it's good of you to do that. And it's good of you to be contesting this power relay also.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it, but there's two of them there. But luckily, I think one of my teammates is starting to come in to support me. We'll see if we can get anything done. Combined, the two of us, you think could do pretty well because he can throw his ham to keep her off me.
Yep.
And then, well, that didn't quite work out. But in that situation, as soon as I saw she was there, should I have just instantly ran away because we're kind of on their side of the map. You know, they could all converge on us very quickly. Or was it good to kind of come back with a Gaslight Joker?
So I think that it wasn't a poor decision necessarily. You trusted your teammate, which is always a good thing to do. I think you just needed to maybe try to get him to respond a little bit earlier, or if you stayed a little bit closer to him, he might have dealt such lethal damage to Atomic Wonder Woman that she would have tried to leave. Whereas you tried to kite her away, which most people would do. You know, you're thinking, I'm taking damage, run away. But effectively, you ran away from Gaslight Joker.
So he was unable to do damage as well.
Right.
Yeah.
If he were closer to her and, you know, because she's melee range, she would have been forced to be taking damage from Gaslight Joker while, you know, running around and trying to kill you. Yeah.
Or if I had a nice car or something to throw at her, that would have always helped.
Yep.
So now I switch her to bottom because kind of chaos happened and no one was over there. If you're fighting against like a hardcore blaster like Green Lantern, what are some of your favorite tactics as Poison Ivy? Or let's say in this case, the way I'm playing, or at least where I've definitely gone for the blow kiss, focused on that skill.
So what's interesting about that is you could generally equate being able to point and click with blow kiss like you can with Green Lantern's Q. But I think just in terms of base damage, I might be wrong here, so don't quote me on it, but I'm fairly certain that Poison Ivy's blow kiss deals more damage just as a base than Green Lantern's Q. That being said, Green Lantern, when he combos with his missiles, will do a lot more damage to you with his Q. So I'm thinking that if you were like just say in a 1v1 against Green Lantern, I would recommend probably not trading with him. Or if you, so close. That meteor was so close.
She was on a turret anyway, though. So.
Yeah. If you were planning on trading with Green Lantern, you would probably want to bait him into chasing you and then knock him up with your Q, hit your W, and run away so that he can't get you.
Okay.
Other than that, or
the
if
Q has
you...
very long range, right? So you
yeah,
can kinda,
exactly. And other than that, you can pop your shield on yourself and then run in there and use your blow kiss. And then even when he tries to damage you, your shield will absorb a big amount of it. So you'll come on top of the trade. You just have to manage your will costs, which is why it's good to buy some sort of item that gives you a bit of will regen, lets you keep using that harass.
So I don't even think I've gotten to shield yet. It looks like I've just decided damage all the way here.
Nice scimitar too. I mean, I don't usually see Poison Ivy with that, but I'm a big fan of that item.
Yeah, I've found that like it just helps your base attack so much if you're a power damage character and you like. I don't know. It seems to me that anytime I build for power damage and not cooldown reduction or will or whatever, if I just go straight damage, it seems like the Size Scimitar is almost an essential item just for, like, the amount of damage your basic attack will do is so high if you build power damage already, right? Or if you're planning to build power damage.
It's a good point. And it is interesting because it makes it so that you as a blaster usually have to sacrifice the power of your basic attacks, whereas if you do build a bit of attack damage, it's kind of one of those secret power sort of things where people don't realize exactly how much your right clicks are doing to them.
So unfortunately, I was a second late there with that ultimate. So Wonder Woman often escaped. She's kind of a tough cookie to.
Yeah, she is.
crack.
I mean, her passive does give her that regen, so I wouldn't be too concerned. Usually the best thing you can do about Wonder Woman is just force her away from a fight. Securing a kill on her isn't even like necessary. You just need to get her away.
So in this situation, when there's 3 of us pushing a lane, what are some tips for trying to push a turret when you obviously have the superior numbers and the strength, but there's someone lurking right under that turret, and of course you don't want to engage them or else the turret's going to come after you.
So unfortunately, just because of the 3 people that you have 2 melee and then you has power damage. And, despite the first rank of Sai Scimitar, you don't have much power in terms of sieging the turrets. So you can like slowly whittle it down as long as you think that you're safe. But like right here, I mean, were you really that safe?
Not with Atomic Wonder Woman there. The Wonder Woman team combo kind of tore us to pieces there, and Batman was behind them as well. So
they're really responsive, it looks like. So the enemy team is something that you have to try to keep in mind when you're sieging a turret, especially if you're not sure where the enemies are. You have to kind of have a confidence of like, all right, these are the abilities I can use to get out. If not, you should probably just regroup and go elsewhere, because you're just taking a risk that might not have a higher reward than the risk.
Yeah, I mean, right there, it was just about 0 reward, right?
Yeah. Well, you did get that 1 kill.
Yeah, that's true. But not worth Poison Ivy's life. At least not when I'm playing her. I value her life quite highly.
And I mean, exchanging kill for kill is almost just like a useless thing. And I know that kind of sounds strange, but if it's not in terms of an objective or trying to get a particular character more credits, it's not necessarily the best thing to do, because it's basically just accelerating the items of everybody.
Yes.
If that makes any sense. So
it's good if you're someone that you really want to focus on the late game, perhaps. Like
right.
Like if you're like, for example, I mostly actually been playing Flash, and like if you get Flash in late game, it seems he just kind of kills everyone.
Right.
So if you can accelerate trades with Flash, that's kind of the goal. But with Poison Ivy, maybe it's not quite as much.
Right. Because I mean, her late game is excellent, but it's different than that of an attack damage. So somebody like Atomic Wonder Woman is going to do more consistent damage. So you trade a kill for Atomic Wonder Woman, and then somebody like Doomsday, I believe it was Doomsday that got the kill, right?
Yes.
I mean, Doomsday's going to be tanky. He's going to do some damage, but I feel like a fed Atomic Wonder Woman is a bit more intimidating than a fed Doomsday.
I would definitely agree. At least from Atomic Wonder Woman, when she's fed it's pretty scary.
She's pretty devastating.
Yeah. So, I mean, in this, I mean, we have our own Atomic Wonder Woman. Of course, she can be devastating. And I guess thinking about the late game with our lineup, we actually might not have the most people who are super scary when they're fed.
Yeah, and that's actually a good point. And even when you're in like champion select and when you're looking at which ones to grab, you kind of have to think about that as best you can. Like you have a lot of damage with Gasbat, Atomic Wonder Woman, and then you as sort of like a semi-blaster.
Yeah.
But Gaslight Joker and Doomsday, both being Enforcer Bruiser types, are like, well, they're going to be there and they're going to soak up a lot of damage, but they don't really have a lot of AoE, nor do they really have a lot of crowd control in their own right. I mean, Doomsday, he has his little knock-up and he has his charge into the wall, but it's very situational. And Gaslight Joker has to hit with his hand, whereas if you had somebody like Wonder Woman, she should scale better throughout the entire game because she has things that can augment everybody.
Yeah, that ultimate gets pretty
Yes.
strong when she gets tough. So you can see here, the Atomic Wonder Woman consistently goes after me in these engagements. Earlier you were mentioning, not always kiting, but sometimes just circling back to my teammates.
Right.
So I kind of initially started to kite there, and then I was like, well, maybe I should circle back. And
Yeah, what you did there was good. It was very good that Doomsday decided to get that charge, but that's one of those instances where like you realize you had no will at all. Like you could have maybe cast one spell after several seconds.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like a really risky thing to do.
Yeah, exactly. So just kind of running around and screaming for help is the right approach.
Yeah, essentially.
So one thing I've been doing is I've kind of just been constantly switching lanes. Do you tend to focus on one lane, or is it just purely situational? There's no general rule?
It's usually situational. I mean, unless there's a lot of action happening elsewhere, and say like the people that are in your lane are just leaving and trying to do something else constantly, it kind of makes more sense in the earlier stage to stick in your lane. And then once it gets to the point where it's devolving and people are trying to make plays in other lanes, you kind of have to look at your situation and go, all right, where am I best? So if like there's nobody bot and it seems like your drones are freely pushing and the whole enemy team is trying to siege top, but they're not really pushing hard, usually that's a good cue for going, okay, well, I can get some solo experience and credits if I run down here. Seems like they don't need my help up there anyway. Whereas conversely, if you look up top and they're hurting your top turret, and if you don't go, they'll probably get the turret for free and leave. That may be like, okay, well, maybe I should flank and try to help my teammates out. And you know what I mean? So
Yeah. It depends basically how safe you are on another lane. So right here, I probably shouldn't be lurking around by myself, should I?
Well, to me, that's really fun. That's like the kind of risk that I like to do. But it is good that you did think that. You really shouldn't be, because you only see these two down here.
And
You
then
have
I
no
come
idea
right back though, because I'm dumb.
Right. No, you're not dumb. But now you see Batman, but still you don't see where any of the other two are. And now you know that Wonder Woman is probably going to help that Batman and try to secure the kill and gaslight Joker.
That's
so,
I was thinking. I was thinking of supporting him on that relay. Then I was like, well, I think I'm too far away.
He looks like he's kind of dug his own grave there too.
Yeah. Well, can he escape? We'll see.
Ooh, well, he is very fast.
Yeah. Sometimes I have more interest in watching my teammates than actually doing anything, so I just kind of.
Well, you were on your way. You were passing up there, so it's not like you were exactly trying to be useless.
Just keep an eye on what's going on. So here, I think I'm just gonna die, right?
I don't know. It looks like you're doing very well there.
Oh, well, we got Atomic Wonder Woman. Yeah.
Took one out. This is the point where I would probably run away and try to meet up with my team.
Because I have very little will, and kind of used my ultimate already, and especially the way I built Poison Ivy this game is I don't really have much sustain in fights. I have a lot of upfront crushing power, but
which is totally viable. It just means that's the sort of thing that you need to play around. And if you have no sort of way of restoring your will, you have to go, okay, well, right now, if somebody like Atomic Wonder Woman came at me, I would probably die, right?
Yeah.
And that's because you don't have any way of casting your spells. You can maybe blind her, right-click her with an augmented size scimitar. That would deal substantial damage, but you're not going to kill her. That would just give you time to run away.
Couldn't quite get him with the meteor. That would have been a kill.
It might have been a kill, but it's also kind of scary because you didn't see it. Like that Atomic Wonder Woman was coming up. If you had like stayed on that fight, you might have been compelled to dive on the turret, thinking that everything was fine, and then I could have turned it around on you.
I still have my chance to dive the turret or dive Atomic Wonder Woman. Oh, save me, Atomic Wonder Woman! No.
So right there, if you had timed your root strike so that you knocked them both up, you might have lived long enough to at least have taken one out before you went down.
Okay. So I need to make sure I get all of them.
It is kind of scary though, when you're getting chased like that. You're just like, I'm running away.
And I had enough energy to use that.
Right.
So or enough will, excuse me.
Like, what's energy? Are you playing Batman now?
All of a sudden switched over. Switch over to Shazam or Batman or whatever. So we're at this stage now. You can see I'm just going the pure, because I went the endgame blaster amplifier, the pure power damage route. Is there a certain point where I should look at your team and say, well, I keep dying to Atomic Wonder Woman. Should I get like a Helm of Fate, or should I get something that just combines the power damage and the attack armor?
So what a perfect item would be for that is Neuron's Contract. You know what that one is, right?
Yes. Yeah. I've actually.
So that would also help you a lot because of Poison Ivy's ultimate. So you could, pop that and have your invulnerability while people are trying to damage you in your ultimate. So they're baited to stay on you and keep dealing damage, or get out and get away from you, which gives you either room to breathe or deals heavy damage while they're standing in your ultimate.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I often, a lot of those activatable items, I kind of just, I'm like, it's too much. I focus on just something that's, I guess we're, like, the one thing I've been trying to work on is I often just take the items that you don't have to think about.
Right.
You know what I mean? You kind of just get them and you don't have to adjust your play.
You mean like active items?
Yeah. So there's, for example, like Neuron's Contract isn't like that, but like what about Ra's al Ghul's rope? That's the one where when they try to kill you, then you come back, right?
Right.
So how would that one play out in a situation where their assassins are always going after you?
That would be good. That's definitely a viable item. I feel like Neuron's contract might work better overall for Poison Ivy, but if you want to get Rachel Ghoul's robe, it makes it so that maybe they use all of their abilities to kill you. If you come back to life in that time where you're sort of resurrecting, somebody can kind of maybe. I mean, you could hope that somebody could come in and help you, or that they would like kind of sit there and wait for you to come back up and try to kill you, knowing that you're reviving with like lower health, which might bait them into getting killed by your teammates. Whereas if you're alone and you're Rachel Ghoul's
then it's kind of worthless, right?
Then it's like, then you've used the cooldown and they're just going to kill you anyway. So you need to use it like effectively. You know what I mean?
It's more like a team fight situation, basically.
Yeah.
And I guess that wouldn't make as much sense this game because we really haven't had that many team fights. There's been a couple like 1-on-1s or 2-on-2s or 3-on-3s, but in those situations, it's mostly me and a bunch of bruisers who probably couldn't do too much to them once I'm down anyway.
Yeah, and I mean it's a good item that you could definitely contemplate at some time in the future. But like see like right here, you can only cast a couple of spells. If you had Rachel Ghoul's robe, you would have revived and then gotten killed again anyway. Yeah,
it wouldn't really make a difference in that context. So right there was a good point where we probably pushed too far, Doomsday and I.
Yeah.
Given that there's only one at the bottom.
Seem to have been doing that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, Doomsday doesn't care because he's Doomsday, right? So he just, it's part of his personality to trudge in there. And
oh, exactly. Yeah, we've seen, like, #1 tower diver is definitely Doomsday.
It's weird, like, you kind of get into the game. Like, you kind of get your character's mindset in the game sometimes. At least I do. Like with Doomsday, you just all of a sudden start realizing you're invulnerable, or you start thinking you are, and you just charge into turrets. You don't even care.
Right.
With Poison Ivy, I figure I hate everyone because I can find some reason why every single character in this game hates nature, right? I mean, like Batman, you know, he'll protect the corporate people from being assassinated by eco-terrorists or whatever. You know, there's always something all these so-called heroes are doing that really harms nature. So I'm just kind of pissed off and just want to just kill everyone.
That's fair. That's totally fair. I'm pretty sure that's how Poison Ivy would rock it too.
Yeah, she's not really soft-spoken or merciful type of person.
Yeah, she's kind of bitter, you know? So you're just aggressive. You're just like, you know what? I'm going to this lane and none of you can do anything about it. And then you kill and you're like, well, maybe you can do something about it, but I don't care. I'm just going right back up there.
Yeah, well, this time I'm going right back down here. But again, it's probably similar. Like right here, I was very vulnerable.
Yes.
And it's kind of foolish. So
sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, in those situations where you kind of revive, everyone's kind of spread out. You're scared of, you know, Atomic Wonder Woman for the most part. Of course, her whole team can be scary. But she's like the one I'm most scared of this game. What's the best way to go about trying not to die to her? But also still, you know, getting, you know, trying to get some experience and credits and kills and whatnot.
So there's a couple of options that you have. You can either stick with your team and try to compel them to push with you. And then once she comes at you, sort of kite her around and try to see if your team can pick up that kill up. Like right now, it's good. All right. So this is kind of a tough situation that I want to try to break down right there. So she was fighting Gaslight Batman.
Yeah.
Blow
or she was fighting, she went on Gaslight.
Yeah,
Gaslight Batman. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah, so she was fighting Gasbat, and that Atomic Wonder Woman is very strong, as you can see. She's been killing a lot of people all game, right? So, you remember what her Blow Kiss does?
Yeah.
80% reduced damage of basic attacks. So, a lot of Atomic Wonder Woman's damage in her burst comes from her basic attacks. So I feel like in that situation, instead of shielding Gaslight Batman first, you should have mitigated the damage with Blow Kiss and then shielded him.
Okay, yeah, right. Did in the wrong order.
But it's the sort of thing where reflexively you go, oh gosh, my teammate's dying, throw the shield on. But considering how fast Atomic Wonder Woman can take him out, the best thing I feel like numerically would have been able to like mitigate her damage with a W and then throw the shield on, because that would have given Gaslight Batman the time to maybe turn around and deal some damage, so that at least you could have taken her out and maybe Gasbat would have lived with like a sliver of health, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and every second to matter. And then you would follow up with the Root Strike, I assume, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But if she had come on you there and not Gaslight Batman, it would have been fairly simple to to do a similar thing. You know, you blind her with the blow kiss, and then you throw on your shield. And then if she still decides to chase you, you can throw a root strike and immediately detonate it when it comes out onto you.
Yeah.
Knock her up, keep running away. By the time that she gets back up to you, it's plausible that your blow kiss would have returned from cooldown. And even though your Thorn Shield has a steeper cooldown, you would have been able to mitigate her damage again so that she wouldn't really be able to deal as much damage as she wanted to.
So kind of, I mean, basic kiting stuff, but just knowing the right order to use those skills.
Yeah.
And also, like, a good point is, if I shield him, she could immediately just target me, right?
Right.
Whereas if I blow kiss first, no matter who she targets,
exactly.
is obviously it's gonna mitigate her damage output.
Yep. Right now, Gaspat, again, your blow kiss wasn't up, so that was a good choice, and that was really all you had to have given. But I feel like perhaps what you could have done, despite the fact that you probably would have died anyway, because, I mean, Doomsday full health running away, and you guys were a little bit overextended with everybody being there. The best thing might have been to have thrown in that support. The moment you saw that the fight was not in your favor, just turn and hightail it.
Yeah, not
run.
even. Yeah, just hope they're distracted by my teammates, basically.
That, or even if they kill you, but you run away and you're distracting them and you're kiting them around, it also usually like prevents them from pushing the lane and taking any objectives. Like right now, since your whole team is dead, they have the feeling of, well, we can do whatever we want. So Batman and Atomic Wonder Woman are there. But if you give them that sort of chase and they're just trying to kill you, they'll ignore objectives. You know, it's like those mind games where, yeah, of course they get the kill on you, but you were going to die anyway. At least if you can lure them away from your objectives, you can prolong it and not give them anything for it.
Yeah, and in a situation like this where its power relays are coming up soon, time is kind of money, right? Or time
exactly.
I guess time is always money, but time is even more valuable when there's those objectives that are about to come up.
Right.
So right here, you know, I was pinging at top trying to let people know, but is there anything I can try to even go here? Or what, I'm just going to die if I try to do it?
Well, you have vision of the area, so you see that Wonder Woman is the only person there. I feel like you being here is a good thing, especially because she's below half health. If I were you, I would have spam pinged that top relay, hoping that, yeah, your Atomic Wonder Woman is backing you up. So right now, you probably should have not even be chasing her. Should just be taking that point.
Okay,
you
because
definitely
she's dead
secured the
anyway.
kill.
Yeah.
So you came out on top of that, but without knowing that all of the enemies were in bot lane right there, it was kind of a risky thing because they could have come in and sideswiped you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I guess the idea is if I stay on the relay, they all probably would kill my teammate, and then they might kill me, but at least I get the relay first, most likely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's a worthy trade, especially since you seem to be a little bit on the losing side. You don't want to give up those objectives.
Yeah, we haven't been doing as great, but right now, you know, we've got 2 of the relays. We may be able to get a third here. Although this is, I guess, a lot of them. Should I be participating in the fight or going for the relay right here? I guess is the question.
Probably the relay, because you can always fight after.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of them, and I'm scared. Uh-oh.
That is the sort of thing to be afraid of.
Get her!
Yeah, right.
Get her!
So that was I think that it was a perfectly placed ultimate. Unfortunately, she had the wherewithal to jump away, and your Doomsday said, I'm not helping you. Peace.
So I felt right there with him knocking into her wall and me just trying to use all my stuff on her. We should have gotten the kill, but she's tough.
Yeah. So yeah, she's actually built fairly tanky as well. If you look at her items, she's got the Lobos chain, she's got the Marauder shield. It's gonna keep her alive a little bit longer than you might expect. So she's not dealing as much damage as an Atomic Wonder Woman can, but it's just enough considering how far ahead her team is to still be pretty devastating to you. Yeah. So I think ideally, maybe right there, when you saw her getting the relay and you saw that your whole team was bot and not responding, you might have just said, well, we'll let them have it and maybe try to regroup for bot. Or like I said, spam pinging, it may be a little bit annoying, but it is restricted, so you can't ping like 18 times. But sometimes it just gives
17.
your teammates sometimes you have to think for them because they're focusing on something else maybe.
Yeah.
And if you notice something similarly, if they notice something that you don't see, it's always good to throw out a ping and be like, hey, look over here. And then people are like, oh, wait, what?
Yeah, and you could kind of just, I mean, because they might miss the first couple, right?
Right.
So I was going to ask something, and I totally just blanked my mind. Oh, yeah. A question about that engagement against Atomic Wonder Woman. When you first charged her in the wall, I figured we'd just kill her, so I just threw all my stuff at her. Mm-hmm. Given the fact that we couldn't, and let's say I knew that we wouldn't be able to get her with that first volley, It would have been better to save the blow kiss perhaps for when
So I was
she's not
thinking about
stunned and
that.
using her. Because I mean, basically, I wasted the damage reduction part because while she was blinded, she was stunned anyway, so she couldn't
Right.
attack in the first place.
So I think your idea was just trying to put out enough damage to kill
Kill her.
her before she counterattacks.
Yeah.
But Poison Ivy not being a true blaster and Doomsday not being a true bruiser, which isn't true necessarily, but it looks like your Doomsday is building pretty
Yeah,
tanky.
he's tanky.
So given that, and that's the sort of thing that you don't really know right off the bat, especially if you're not very familiar with Poison Ivy and what she can do, and especially if you weren't totally aware of what Atomic Wonder Woman had built. It's kind of like, if I were you, I might have done the same thing. I might have initiated with the blow kiss, but you could have potentially lived longer. It's one of those things where it's a little bit hard to say. It's good to have the thought to think about It's good to have the thought about being able to use it in a different situation or sort of delaying it, but you can't really necessarily know. See, right here, you ran away from your team again.
Yeah.
And it looked like they were kind of backing away anyway, but Batman and Atomic
But if I
Wonder
ran
Woman just
up instead
cornered
of
you.
down, yeah, if I ran up instead of down, basically,
Right.
It would have been a little better.
Especially with Atomic Wonder Woman intending to join the fight also. If you had cut it up, you might have been able to live a little longer.
Yeah, and she might have been able to get the kill on Atomic Wonder Woman even before Atomic Wonder Woman killed me or something like that.
Yep.
I was just kind of in shock that they didn't all die to the Doomsday device.
Well, that's kind of what happens when they're all tankier than you.
Yeah. Like normally when that goes off, your whole team just dies, right? That's kind of
So
what I was thinking.
it's been changed a little bit so that the damage is very, very destructive, but it would kind of be cheesy if you could use it to just kill an entire team.
Yeah, it kind of would be.
And since that fight started when they were at
They were
almost
at max pretty much.
Yeah, they were at max health, so it did a lot of damage to them. But I think, like as we've established, at least a couple of them are building tanky. Whoa, Green Lantern,
He's bold.
what are you doing?
Too
I
bad
think she
if
forgot
I got
which base she was in.
probably. If I got one attack in there, it would have been a kill. Or it would have given me the kill, but unfortunately the turrets stole
Maybe
my
she was
kill.
just taunting you. She was just like, you know what? Go in. I don't
Yeah.
care. They can't do anything about it.
Why not, right? Give him. You know, it was a mercy kill or mercy death, I guess.
Yeah, but what mercy is it? I mean, it seems just like a taunt.
Yeah, more like a pity than a mercy, right? Or making fun of. So here I'm of course trying to deal with this guy, but again I'm kiting. Here I kited towards the turret instead of towards my team.
Yep.
It probably would have better go towards the team there as well, right?
I would say so. Yeah. Because you might have baited him right into that kill, but it was still good. You contested it. Batman always foiling Poison Ivy's plans, but you did come
Not
out on
this
top
time.
of that
Nature wins this time.
one.
So should I even be joining this fight? Because it's kind of obvious that we're gonna get crushed, right?
Though I don't think it was a bad decision.
Okay.
I think that maybe if you had healed, if you
Got a
had
kill.
used your healing wave a little bit sooner,
Yeah.
you maybe would have been able to come out on top of that. It looked like it was a losing battle, but you never know.
I mean, it might have been worth it because me coming in there, we were able to get a kill on Atomic Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And it's probably like you talk about the 1-for-1 is maybe worth it sometimes, maybe not, maybe it's a wash. But I think in this game, any one of us dying to get a kill on Atomic Wonder Woman is probably worth it, right?
Definitely depends on the situation, but when I'm thinking about the way this game is going, considering that she's the main threat, that probably would be your best bet.
I mean, because it's we probably are getting more gold from killing her than she is from killing us, right?
Yes.
And then of course, me being down for a while isn't as big of a hindrance to our team as her being down for a while.
Exactly,
is
and
their
you're
team.
much safer getting into a team fight without Atomic Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Looks like there really weren't any team fights going on anyway, but it was still a pretty cool engagement. So, I mean, of course she's back by now or within a second. And again, it's that kind of question. We've got some people on the bottom, but I was kind of scared to run across the map and get to them. I didn't think I could help them out in time.
Yeah.
So I'm just figuring just hang out with Gaslight Joker, and then he starts running back. But I'm like, oh well, I'm just gonna kill some of these and hope they're not up here. Is that like what would you be doing right now as Poison Ivy in this exact instant?
I think I might be doing what you're doing, but I might have been doing it in bot lane. Well, actually, that's not necessarily true. Because they have 2 relays, the top ones are now super drones.
Yeah.
So it's good, I think, to push back the wave a little bit, give you some room to breathe. When you see them all down there, you have two options, which is go defend bot lane, and that might be the more viable one considering the fact that they're killing your team. And you could either do that or push top lane, which, it's a risk. It's a risky thing, but
I'm thinking the relays right now.
yes. So the relays,
Is this too
sometimes the
risky?
relays aren't worth you losing your turrets.
Okay.
I don't think it's bad for you to be taking the relays right now, but you are taking extensive damage in the base right now.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. For Gaslight Joker, I think he's thinking he just wants to kill stuff.
Right.
I was trying to get him to go up to that top, but so we lost the one turret, but I don't think we'll lose the power core turrets. And this is where I'm kind of making another decision. Well, it looks like they've been pushed back. So
I do think that you made the proper decision there in terms of the fact that they weren't able to push. You did lose a couple of allies, which isn't great, but I think getting all three
they're not
relays.
true allies. I've seen them step on a plant.
Oh God. But they can't help it. Plants are everywhere, Ivy.
It's true. You just have to be really careful. You have to float. Like, she kind of floats. Look at her.
No, I just think that she's really gentle. And also maybe it's okay when she steps on plants because she's allowed to kill them, but nobody else is.
Well, she also instantly regrows them using her nature skills. So I know Atomic Wonder Woman, I pushed her out earlier, but I was kind of always afraid she would come back. Here, I should have been supporting my Atomic Wonder Woman, right?
You did fine, I think. You came in there when you needed to. You maybe should have gone in a tad bit earlier, but you did end up on the winning side of that altercation, and presumably you're going to secure that third relay, so that's good.
Yeah, I don't see any way they can contest it at this point. What's going on the top right there? Looks like there's some scuffle.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing, like, Doomsdays are crazy. Everybody who plays Doomsday is just, they always go so ham.
You can't not go crazy. Like, it feels wrong to be, like, running away and playing conservative as Doomsday, right? So here, like, I was thinking they were hurt and they used their skills on Doomsday so we could kill them. But maybe I shouldn't be leading the charge. Maybe it should be. Well, now there's three of them here, too.
Well, you kind of went in on that, and you yourself do not have a lot of survivability from the way that you've been building Poison Ivy.
So that was kind of foolish.
It was a little bit of a risk. I'm not going to say it was foolish. But that's kind of one of those risk versus reward situations. Knowing that bot lane was populated more by your teammates than top was.
Yeah.
You were taking a heavy risk there.
So, I mean, for I guess there is two better options, right? Or two potential better options. One would just been to run straight away, right? Because it's not like, I mean, if I wanted to get drone kills, I had to kind of keep going forward. So either run straight away and just go to bottom lane or go back home or something.
Right.
Or to try to persuade Gaslight Joker to charge in.
Right.
But even if he charged in first, I probably still would have died there because I think they could have just avoided him. I mean, there were three of them there, right? And they had some stuns and stuff.
So something I feel when you get into any sort of fight is when you're kind of like, I'm not sure if I'm going to come out on top of this. Like if you don't have confidence in using your abilities, I feel like there's kind of this self-induced lag. And when you're not using your rotation effectively, like say you're this Doomsday, right? Well, actually, that's kind of not a good example because he's dead. But
say he wasn't dead. I was with him.
He wasn't dead at the time, but he's gone. He is fallen. But say if like you're contesting a power relay as Poison Ivy and you're afraid of Atomic Wonder Woman, right? So you kind of like hit her with your blow kiss, but then she starts attacking you and you're afraid. So you're running away and not using your abilities. That's all time that you could be using an ability and then letting it come off cooldown. Like if that makes any sense.
Yep.
So when you are sort of like afraid and you're like, I'm not sure if I should use this right now. You're just like, you're not using your resources to their max potential. So if you're not intending on going all in on a fight, then you probably shouldn't go in on it at all. Or you should just skirt around the edge of it and try to do what you can from a distance.
It just basically you have to be much more decisive.
Right.
In general. So she's pinging down there. She want to go the Doomsday device? So the problem is in this situation, which one of us takes the hits from a Doomsday device?
Anybody, but you just support them just like you did.
Yeah.
And you could rotate it too. So Gaslight Batman has the lifesteal. I don't know if your Atomic Wonder Woman has any lifesteal, but since you're all kind of squishy, Gaslight Joker's coming in too. If you all backed out, Gaslight Joker could have been taking the hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of a
Gaslight Batman, despite having guns, is going in there. Just.
I guess he feels safer deeper into it, right?
Yes.
So now it looks like we want to go to the top relay, but that's already gonna be gone. And Doomsday and I can't do too much on our own here,
Right.
probably. But we're gonna do it anyway. Get her! Get her! She's in the wall.
So this is a classic situation that you and Doomsday seem to be finding yourself in, which is
Yes. We would have had her
being-
if her
Yeah.
fellow Wonder Woman didn't save her.
But see, what they're doing right now is
Luring
they're
us.
distracting you from the power relays.
Yeah, that's true.
So right now you kind of you gave up those relays, and they're kind of thinking, well, was it worth it? And you're like, I don't think so.
Now that we're all gonna die, probably not.
Yeah.
Oh, are we? Yeah, we're all gonna die.
Yeah, you're all dead. Atomic Wonder Woman came in really late to that fight. She picked up the enemy Atomic Wonder Woman, but that's kind of just like she's going to get a kill and probably die.
That's all right. Now I've got level 3 Helm of Fate, so I'm invincible, right?
Define invincible.
Cannot die.
You seem to be very invincible right now.
Darn it. So I'm trying to think of another, because I keep dying to Atomic Wonder Woman. I guess, I mean, Neuron's contract, like you said, would have been great. At the time, I didn't even think about it. But I'm going for how valuable is, because you see I'm starting to go for that Atlantean Royal Seal, which of course is health. Basically, the question is health versus attack armor against Fed Assassin, like in this case, their Atomic Wonder Woman, which is typically more valuable.
So health will probably be better in terms of credit effectiveness, just like the cost of it in the earlier levels. But attack armor, I feel like scales better throughout the game.
So at this point, we're in the late game, right?
Right.
Would attack armor be better at this point?
I'm inclined to say yeah, just because her damage is increasing throughout the game too. So say if her right clicks are hitting you for 150 in the earlier levels, when you invest in something like health, you can mitigate at least a couple of her hits. But if she's got crit items or something that gives her a lot of damage and you keep building health, it's not going to scale the same way as attack armor, because attack armor is going to mitigate it despite how much attack damage that she builds.
Makes sense. So early on, if you kind of wanted to be a little more tanky in early stages, you can go for the life.
Yep.
Late game, if it's like a reaction to the fact you keep dying, you want to get the either attack or power armor, depending on. I guess also, if you're dying to multiple people who are a mixture, then you might get health just because you're like, well, attack armor will help you against Atomic Wonder Woman, but there's also this Green Lantern who keeps killing me, right?
Exactly.
Ah, I missed the meteor. That's Doomsday's fault. He knocked her out of the way.
Yep, that happens a lot.
And this is actually, we burned all our skills on Wonder Woman trying to kill her, so that may not have been the greatest move, but can we? Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good exchange there. But at that point, only taking out 2,
Yeah.
I might be inclined to say that you should back out, get health, and then regroup to take that bot. Or yeah, at least have somebody defend against that top turret falling.
Yeah, I mean, I was almost dead there, so I figured it might as well be me who goes back, right?
Right.
And I should be able to easily defend this. I mean, one-on-one on a turret, I don't really know what he can do there, especially being Arcane Green Lantern who can't
Well,
really pick
it
him.
is all those super drones, so that is somewhat intimidating. Like, look what they did to your health.
Yeah. So that was a situation where I kind of want to take the damage inside of the turret. Was that correct? I was figuring, because I was figuring I wouldn't die anyway, and I was right here to heal.
Yeah, I mean, that was... I feel like it's always better, since turrets don't regenerate their health.
Yeah.
Definitely better for you to be taking the damage. You were close to the base. You knew that you were safe. Arcane Green Lantern probably wasn't going to do anything crazy and kill you.
Yeah, not when I was on a turret.
Right.
If he was Atomic Green Lantern, maybe could have yanked me out of there. But,
yeah.
That's a different story. So now, again, I kind of, there was all that stuff going on bottom, so I figured I was safe to push top, but
Right.
am I now approaching the limit where I may have maybe pushing too far?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely one of those things. Actually, as Poison Ivy too, maybe instead of Healing Wave, or even instead of Super Strength, which I know is nearly blasphemous to say, but maybe instead of Healing Wave, you could have gotten surveillance cameras, because I'm not seeing a lot of vision coverage on your map.
Yeah,
and that's what makes it kind of difficult. Yeah, that sort of thing will make it really difficult to push out if you don't really know where anybody is.
One of the things that I've kind of gotten a habit of doing is if I think I can push out a bit, if there's and I see that the top power relay is coming up, I figure pushing out the drones will help give me that coverage, right?
Right.
I mean, it's kind of like a surveillance camera in a way, moving one that kind of keeps going.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Ah, get her.
See, now you see how much damage you're doing, and that's even to a tank.
Yeah.
Like, she is sort of a blaster, but always this Atomic Wonder Woman is going for you.
So there, should I have just ran through her towards Doomsday?
So this is kind of a tough situation.
Yeah.
Because,
now Arcane Green Lantern came in.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be bad.
So that quickly turned into a 4v2, and your Gaslight Joker was busy taking the relay. Their fifth was taking the other relay, and Gaslight Batman and Atomic Wonder Woman were hanging out in bottom lane. So knowing that your team wasn't responding, you probably would have just had to give it up to them. Yeah. But that's a tough decision to make. You know, you kind of always want to go for it and just be like, well, I don't want to give it up to them. So you think maybe fighting is better, but because of how much stronger they are, fighting might not be better.
Yeah. I have another quick question about, at this point, getting items. I've kind of gone into survival mode with my item purchases. I mean, obviously you can see it's mostly power damage, but in the last, I've been kind of going hybrid, where I've been trying to focus a little bit on surviving as well as power damage.
You're just getting a little sick of dying at this point.
Yep, I keep dying. I guess that one of the questions is, when you're in kind of that survival mode mindset, is there any super item you would always prefer to get?
For Ivy or in general?
In general, if you have that mindset. Is there like one, like, it may not really help you much in a lot of ways, but just going to make you really, really tough to kill?
Well, it's definitely dependent on their damage types. It seems that given the attack armor, getting something like Ra's al Ghul's or Steel Breastplate would be really good for her. That if you're going for power damage, Kryptonian works really well with her.
Yeah, because that gives move speed as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as well as that. One other question. How about going for cooldown reduction as a survivability technique when you're Poison Ivy, so you can spam like Blow Kiss and Roots and your shield a lot more?
I love that, and I very much support it. I actually am a huge proponent of cooldown reduction, provided that you build will regen to compensate, because even if you can cast your spells faster, if you don't have the will to do it, it doesn't really matter.
So, at a point that where I've already gotten Sai Scimitar and Starheart and Book of Eternity, is it almost too late to try to get both will and cooldown reduction?
It's never too late. You can sell items back that haven't been working too well for you. You're obviously going to suffer a little bit of a cost, but Sai Scimitar, do you really need that at this point?
Probably not.
That's something that you might consider changing out for something that would be more helpful for you.
Probably not. Power Lifesteal is probably not the right way to go with her, right?
I find Power Lifesteal kind of interesting on her. I wouldn't object to it. I wouldn't scoff at anybody who built Power Lifesteal. It might not be the ideal choice, but you find as Poison Ivy that you do a lot of dueling and a lot of kiting. So if you're getting a little bit of health back, and it's also like you're standing in your healing ring and you're not taking damage while your shield is on, it's not too bad, especially if you're standing in your own ultimate and dealing damage to somebody. It kind of gives you that healing component back on your ult, you know?
There you go. It's the old ult back in form, right?
Well, only for yourself, but yes.
Yeah, that's all you care about anyway, right?
Shh, well. You can't say that. You're a support.
Support just means you just kill everyone, then your team's supported by not having enemies. That's my vision of support.
Exactly. I mean, at this point, it's one of those situations where your team repeatedly seems to be fighting in situations where they shouldn't. Because of the fact that all of the team fights seem to be won by the enemy team. And I think you've been doing really good with the relays, though, personally.
So, a quick question about that team fight. Is it my fault that I wasn't there? Because, I mean, they were all trying to do that.
You can spin that two ways. So some people might be inclined to say, Poison Ivy, where were you? But I feel like if you're asking that question, it's not usually... Oh, Atomic Wonder Woman. See, now that you should have been there for that.
Yeah, I should have gone back earlier.
She knew though that was open. That was a bit of a backdoor on her part.
So I mean, if I went back right when I took their relay, probably that wouldn't have happened. Well, maybe.
Well, I mean, I think that was kind of an inevitability anyway. That Atomic Wonder Woman was on top of her game.
Yeah.
So
defeat
I wouldn't
was
feel
inevitable.
too bad about that.
Why must we fight?
Well, I still don't think that was too bad. It probably felt like a rough game to you, but when you look at like the credit total and everything, and the fact that you weren't missing too many relays, I mean, you did so well on capping those. So I think you had the most captures.
I guess one of the problems we had though is that our damage output, I guess the way we played it was basically me and our gas bat.
Mm-hmm.
And there was very few fights where we had both of us in the engagement.
Yep.
So that all they had to do was target whichever one of us was in that engagement.
And then you didn't have any more damage.
Yeah. So that could have been something where, probably I should have been talking to my team and being like, hey, like, at a certain point in the game, gas bat and kind of need to stick together just so you're almost, it's weird, as a damage dealer in some cases, I feel you're almost safer with another damage dealer than you are with a tank because
Yep.
Unless a tank does a really good job in stunning people, like, they're just going to ignore him, whereas they can't really ignore another damage dealer.
Exactly. So I mean, that's a very situational thing, but if you do plan on being aggressive and taking people out, it's good. But yeah, I mean, your Gaslight Joker built very tanky. Your Doomsday built very tanky. They had just such brute force over there. You look at their items, like I see a couple Soul Taker Katanas, even Arcane Green Lantern built that Book of Eternity. And the Aventur's Lantern, you guys had very, very rough opposition there.
We were the meaty team, and they were a bunch of cleavers chopping us up.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. Despite the fact that they didn't have a Gaslight Joker over there, you were a bit of like the please kill me team because I can't kill you. But I don't even think that necessarily it was impossible to win with your team setup. I just think that your team didn't work too much
more
as a team.
Yeah. So quickly, or not quickly, as long as you want. I want you to go over a couple tips for Poison Ivy, both things, maybe I could have done better in that game, or in general tips that are something just like people want to play Poison Ivy generally really need to think about.
So I have a general tip that kind of coincides with Poison Ivy. You tend to do a lot of split pushing, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing because that does give you more levels, it gives you more credits, and you can help your team out better that way. But if you're only with one person the whole time, especially your Doomsday, who was notoriously hammy,
brave,
you probably should have been maybe supporting Gaslight a little bit more, and Atomic Wonder Woman, because they're both very powerful in their own right. Actually, it's kind of interesting. Your Gaslight Batman wasn't that strong because he was going power damage. He was going hybridy. If you look at his items, he was Blue Scarab, Psy Scimitar, Batman's utility. That's kind of it's an interesting build. I actually don't typically see Gaslight, and it looks like he still played very well. But
I mean, there was that one change where I forget when this was. Now all of a sudden his Q. This might have been even a while ago, but there was one point where the Q was just attack damage.
Yeah.
And now it's power damage. Basically helps every single one of his skills.
Because he's very effective as hybrid. Especially, it's really fun when you bat flight through people and you just like drop kick them to death. But it definitely has less reliability than an attack damage. But as a result of that, I feel like you guys were even less powerful than they were. Because I actually didn't realize that he was building power damage until I'm looking at this right now. But it's not a bad choice, and it just means that you would have had to play to accommodate for that, and that definitely would have required more team coordination. So with somebody like Poison Ivy, because of all the supportive skills that you have, your best bet is to stay with the team and shield when necessary, blind that Batman or that Atomic Wonder Woman when they're trying to do what they need to do. It's definitely, as Poison Ivy, you need to think less about what you can do for yourself and more what you can do for your team.
What you can do for the world.
For the world and the plants and everything.
Poison Ivy is very globally aware.
Yes.
Of everybody. But not in that game. I guess I was more individually aware.
Yeah, but I mean, in a sense, Poison Ivy, she definitely lives for herself. But and she definitely isn't a fan of company.
That's true.
I mean, maybe if Harley Quinn or something was on your team, she would have been a little bit more team-oriented. But something else that you can focus on as Poison Ivy is just knowing how to use the rotation of your skills. You shielded a lot before you would use your W, which we already talked about, but that's the sort of thing where it takes a little bit of getting used to. If you do take Super Strength as Poison Ivy, you can focus on learning that Meteor combo with the Root Strike. That's so powerful. I wish everybody had something like that, just throwing meteors and then infinitely stunning people.
It's always a good combination.
And then just awareness of your passive is also something that's really important as well, especially in the earlier stages. Sometimes, and I'm a culprit as well, sometimes I'll forget when my passive is going to proc, and then if I use an ability in a precarious place, I can't stay in it and utilize it. And also, you can, like, your allies don't know when it's coming up unless you're on voice chat with them, and it's like, hey, my passive's coming up, stand over here, I don't know why I did like a phone, because apparently people talk on the phone when they're playing this game.
Pretty much.
But It basically, if you know that your passive's coming up, you can run over to them and make it so that it spawns underneath you and them, and then they're like, "Oh, hey, it's healing." Anybody who knows what your passive does will be more inclined to stand on it.
They won't be scared of the green stuff coming out of the ground.
Yep, and you know, a little less size scimitar, little more like Dr. Destiny's Dreamstone or Amulet of Isis, something that will give you will and/or will regen would be really good for her as well.
So if you are going for more the will regen style, is it worth it more to level up the Thorn Shield a bit more, because then that you know the amount of shield scales off of your will, right? So
yeah, I mean, it's definitely situational. If you find that like you're doing a lot of damage but not living long enough, you might I mean, it's not like you have to max this ability first and then that ability. You can go, all right, well, I'm going to take rank 2 of Thorn Shield, you know?
Yeah.
So you could grab that before you grab, you know, an extra rank in your passive or any of your other abilities.
And I guess one last question here. Don't want to have people think about too much going on, but if you're not going for just a straight power damage, is Blow Kiss maybe ability you would focus less on leveling up, because the blinding effect doesn't really matter what level it's on, right?
Right. I'm not sure, but it might scale with duration. That's definitely something that you're going to need to look at. I haven't played Poison Ivy in a while, so I'm not entirely sure. But it is possible that it, when you level it up, the duration increases. But it is a utility spell, so it's still viable to just grab 1 point in that and then just use it, you know, when you exactly need to. But it definitely takes a little bit more timing sort of mentality to get that down.
Right when they're on you, or right when you're on one of your teammates, or something like that.
Yep, it's fun though. It's definitely interesting. When you play her as a blaster type, you definitely also sacrifice the defensive capabilities. Yeah. So next time you play Poison Ivy, I would recommend like trying to build will and trying to think of yourself more as like an augment instead of, you know, somebody who's trying to kill people.
Going ham, running around.
Yeah, you might find that she's actually super fun to play when you're like you can cast spells a lot. They might not be able to do as much damage, but if you're just like supporting and blinding and your passive is just healing the crap out of people, it's actually really fun. You feel like the backbone of the team, you know.
You can feel like every kill is your kill because you supported your teammates in game,
exactly.
Right? You just add them all up. I got 40 kills.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, I think that's it for Poison Ivy. Hope you guys remember all those tips. A lot of great tips there from Zagnet.
Yep. No, I'm just kidding.
Rewatch the show with your notebook or notepad on your PC now, I guess it would be, with all the modern newfangled technology. Record it. Voice record all the tips. There you go.
Yes.
Anyways, thank you so much for helping me with some Poison Ivy gameplay and coming on the show again. As always, some great advice from you, Zagnet.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. But don't go anywhere, guys. Coming up next will be more Crisis Watch.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Crisis Watch, your weekly dose of information and analysis of this awesome new MOBA type game that's currently in the closed beta. A MOBA that features your favorite superheroes and supervillains. Today's focus is all about Poison Ivy, and I'm going to try her out this game. Nick, you're going to have to give me some guidance here. I know you're an expert now, so
I've taken some notes.
Yes. So in the beginning here, tell me what to go for as far as powers, amplifiers.
You know, I'm always a super fan of Super Strength, but there's a lot of ways to do it. Definitely the heal wave is good.
So what do you think? Just give me it straight.
I would probably.
I will listen to what you say.
You know, I'm going to get surveillance cameras, so you just go Super Strength.
Super Strength.
Or Super Speed. Your pick.
Super Strength.
All right, Super Strength, and keep the healing wave. For your amplifier, you may consider Controller Power Jungle.
I got to decide quickly.
Controller Endgame Mix.
Which one is it?
It's in the middle row.
Got
over. Yep, Controller Endgame Mix. I think is probably a good way to do it.
Okay.
Amulet of Isis is great, and Dr. Destiny's Dreamstone.
I haven't played Poison Ivy in so long, so.
So we're going to play it differently than I did. We're going to play it how Megan said it's probably better to play it.
Okay.
So we're going to be looking at boosting your will and your cooldown reduction, or just spam those abilities.
Okay.
And we'll take a look at some of the items early on.
Perfect.
But basically, focus mostly on leveling probably your Q. Get 1 point in W, 1 point in E.
Q, W, E, then focus
But the Q is the main one. That's your wave clear, your stun.
The root that goes underground?
Yep, exactly. Okay. And when someone attacks you, the first thing to always do is if it's an attack damage character, always hit your W on them first.
W on them.
Because that works sort of. And then whoever they're attacking into battle, E to protect whoever's getting killed.
Okay.
Could be you, could be someone else.
Yep.
And then
maybe
look to whoever people are. Then you think who are you going to kill. and use the Q to stun them to help, you know, stun and put damage on and help kill them.
Gotcha. Okay.
Other thing to do is keep track of your passive. There's a little number counter.
Sure. All right.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna go with the Joker, and we're gonna open up with maybe the present. So for your items, here, I'm just gonna do something basic for myself.
What items you think?
Omelet of Isis is pretty good.
Tell me where it is.
Let's look at Will or John.
Go by like, is that under health, power, attack?
Yeah, I'm trying to find exactly where it is.
The match begins in 30 seconds.
You know what? I think it's a health. It's a health item somewhere around here. There it is. It's a health item, costs 500. I'd open that. It's in the middle, bottom row.
What is it called?
Omelet of Isis.
Found it. Okay.
Yep.
Now I got 250 left.
I would get the Tektite vial under general at the bottom, the purple thing.
There are 2 purple things. Tektite vial.
Yep, get that one.
Restores 100 health under the.
And so the way it works is it has 3 charges. To use, you just hit the number like you would a health pack.
Hit the number, so 2.
Let's
so
go.
We're not getting low on,
let's go up top or something.
Should I
or
go?
I should go with you. Shoot, maybe you have to go on your own actually.
Yeah.
We'll just split up. I'll go bottom, and I'll just.
Maybe maybe you should go top. I think I should go bottom, dude.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Because you have the only range at the top, and that's kind of.
We'll be same either way, right?
Well. Oh well.
Like, but we're
is that Batman Prime?
Yeah, that's Batman.
Oh,
Prime,
I thought it was
so
Gaslight Batman.
Yeah,
so
we're both the range guys on our lane. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
fine. That's why I said we should split up, basically.
Yeah.
So basically, to Q's your wave clear, the Tektite value just hit like you would normal health potion. It brings back both health and mana. It has 3 charges.
That's pretty cool.
But once it runs out of charges, what basically you want to do is.
How often? Okay, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Once it runs out of charges, if you go back home, it'll automatically recharge its charges. So keep that in mind. You can use it again once you go back home.
Nice.
As soon as I get I'm gonna just sit back and figure out your next
How
item.
often should I use my Q, do you think?
You have extra will with your Omelet of Isis, so you can be pretty
So don't
liberal
be shy
with
with it.
Yeah, anytime you can get a stun, like if you can put damage on their champion, that's always the goal, right?
I think
Force
the
them
range
out
is a
the
bit
lane.
shorter than the last time I used. Not sure. All right. Cool.
Meanwhile, we're pushing the top. Cyborg's alone on the top. I'm here with the Nightmare Bat, which is kind of unfortunate because he's not the ideal. I'd ask him to jungle too, actually, but.
Uh-oh. Okay, that was cool. Let's see here. So right now it's all about getting the credits, getting the experience. All right.
And if you have a second, you can kind of check out the items and think about what you want. What you're looking for is cooldown reduction later on. Omelet Isis is a great start. So you just click the cooldown reduction on the items tab and check that out.
So my W, poison ivy 60 power damage. Okay.
There's one item that's really nice. It's called Neuron's Contract. It gives you move speed, attack armor, and power damage.
Neuron's Contract. So you think I should go after that? After?
No, that's only if there's a lot of attack damage people that are really causing you a lot of trouble.
Some issues, yeah.
So that's like a late game item you may want to get. That Megan was saying I should have gone last time because Atomic Wonder Woman kept killing me.
You'll have to remind me about that.
Yeah, we'll see. If their cyborg becomes a big problem, that may be something we'll look at. We'll have to see. Their cyborg's solo on the lane right now, so he's actually doing really well. Just unfortunate for us. Our Nightmare Bat. Uh-oh. Luckily, I hit him with the. Wow, that Atomic Green Lantern does so much damage. They just crushed me. So another thing that's good. I mean, I'd max out Omelet Isis first probably.
Yep.
But you might want to think about what's the other one called? There's Dr. Destiny's Dreamstone. It's a nice cooldown reduction.
Okay.
It adds cooldown reduction, power damage, power armor, will regen. So it's a good generic item. Then another good cooldown reduction item for you could be Pandora's Box. Is kind of interesting. It's power lifesteal and power damage and cooldown reduction. There's also one called Cosmic or Fatality's Energy Lance. Is really good later on for you as well.
See how much my Omelet. So it'll cost 500 to upgrade my. So at 1500, I'll go back.
Yep. That's
or maybe I could go back now that I'm 500, get my level 2 Amulet of.
I mean, I would only go back if you're losing life or having a hard time sustaining yourself in the lane.
Yep.
We're doing very poorly at top. Their Cyborg's kind of rocking us. Which kind of sucks. Especially because he's alone in the lane, so
should we switch or something, or what do you think?
No.
Okay.
And they got this Atomic Green Lantern that keeps railing at me. Maybe I'm going to start powering my...
And there's a way to stop the Q after you've launched it.
Yeah, you hit it again. You hit it again. So if someone's right next to you, you just double tap it in their direction,
Yep.
and it's really super... the stupid...
Double tap.
Man, these guys are really good, and they're just rocking us.
Are they the KGB guys?
Yeah, they're just using, they're the KGB guys. And Atomic Green Lantern has this ability where he pulls you into him.
Yeah.
So
I
like
guess
Cyborg's there, he just pulls you into him.
I guess
what do
you
you do,
stay
right?
patient because we're doing fine at the bottom. Like,
Yeah, our top turret's gonna die here, I think. That's all right though. Worst things have happened.
worst things have happened.
It's hard because it'd be a lot easier if our Nightmare Batman was in the jungle where he's supposed to be.
Right.
Because then he could be coming out and threatening your Cyborg. Instead, he's kind of just standing in front of him and doing the same thing I am, standing in front and dying.
Right.
Which is good to have one person doing that, but you need someone else to kind of be that. I should be using my surveillance cameras, actually, is one thing I haven't really been quite as on top of. Because those probably would have saved me a time or two.
Got a little bit low there.
If they're going to try to pick away their surveillance camera, that's been helping them out a lot. Of course, the best counter to a surveillance camera is a surveillance camera. These guys who
Yes.
didn't know that.
Operational in 10 seconds.
Power relays. Looks like our Joker's going to get that. Ah, they're coming in to ambush us again.
No.
Unaligned
Luckily, I hit him.
power relays.
Atomic Green Lantern is really strong, man.
Oof. We're having some good skirmishes here at the bottom.
The top, there's some very one-sided skirmishes. They're
Yeah.
level 6 and we're 3 and 4. Which is pretty bad. But eventually we'll catch up to them.
Alright.
Cyborg's kind of being annoying here. I'm going to get my E so I can jump away from these guys. I do want to get another...
I'm just staying patient here at the bottom.
Patience is a virtue.
Oh, how'd they get our power relay? How does that happen?
Our Gaslight Joker died, I think. He was supposed to be guarding that.
Dang.
Their Atomic Green Lantern and their Gaslight
That's actually
Joker
pretty
kind of
important. I
ganked
guess
us.
I would've...
Yep. And now there's 3 in the top. I mean, basically, they're like coordinating attacks on the power relays and the people in the top. Wow. You know, it's really hard when you're level 4 and he's level 7.
Whoa, he's already level 7? Alright, stay
Yeah.
easy there, Nick. Stay patient. You don't want them to get too much stronger.
Yeah,
It's okay to play a little bit back. Don't give him any opportunities to...
Yep. That's kind of the goal here.
So what did change about the ultimate again?
He just doesn't heal you basically anymore.
Okay, but still the
So-
same...
Yeah, you just throw it down like AoE, like you would Green Lanterns, except it's not as burst, but it's more of a time, you know?
It's you hit it and then click, right? Or does it do it automatically?
It depends if you have smart casting or not.
I don't.
Yeah, so
it
you
should
hit it and
be-
click, yeah.
click, okay. Just making sure. Or like awkwardly like hit it and then it doesn't do much.
Their Cyborg's trying to ambush us. But luckily I have all these surveillance cameras up, so I should be able to stay alive a little bit better than we have been. But I know there are Atomic Green Lanterns lurking in jungle, and I'm really scared of them. Which is probably a righteous fear, given how good he is.
Alright.
Oh, he's there at the top. See, surveillance cameras are so good in this game. Now that I'm starting to use them, I'm really be able to stay alive a lot better.
I'm gonna go grab a meteor. Ah, Joker!
They got these super drones too, which aren't making things.
Oh, I got jumped on.
Who got you, Atomic Wonder Woman?
Uh,
This is going to be a very tough game. We've got a really coordinated team.
Okay, let me think. So I have 1300. Amulet of Isis.
Yeah, get that guy.
And then I have 800, so
At least
I
their
could get
Cyborg's
started.
been eating a lot of my shots. I'm catching up to him. If I was equal level, he would have been dead by now.
Alright.
I'm going to
Let's see
re-put
here.
that
Let's bring this
sensor
back.
tower up.
Poison Ivy's healing wave. Oh. I should have used that. Okay. So healing wave is good when you're low on health.
Yep.
Note to self. That might have saved me. Oh well.
We're going to keep pummeling their Atomic Green Lantern. Keep
Uh-oh.
him at bay there.
Oh, he whiffed. Oh, double whiff. Okay. Getting used to
I kind of
this.
want to go back and get items, but I know that I don't want to ditch my Nightmare Batman here. Our turret will die if I go back, right? Which I think is kind of bad to lose a turret, personally.
Sure. I would agree.
They're going for me hardcore, too. Oh, Nightmare Batman got the ultimate. How do we not kill him? Oh, we did kill him. Phew.
Nice.
Oh, I'm going to die. I'm going to die.
No, don't die.
Oh, I got to go back. But Cyborg will kill the turret. I have no life. He'll just kill me, then a turret if I don't go back.
Yep. PW.
Our turret's going to die, though, because well, at least we killed one of them. It was 1 for 1, but unfortunately the turret took some pain as well. I'm going to get this Psy Scimitar.
Joker's coming after me.
I like that with Joker.
Unaligned doomsday device detected.
come after me here.
Our bottom turret is under attack.
Okay.
There's 3 there at the bottom.
Oh, hit your ham.
Did he get him? We almost got in time to save the top turret, which kind of sucked. We were so close.
Keep dodging my roots.
I need to get more of these turrets up because all my turrets expired. Or my sensory observations. I'm being probably most of my present because I'm just gonna be focused on defensive play.
Yep.
Joker may need help. I'm gonna go back because us Jokers stick together. Looks like he's fine actually.
Oh, they're coming after me.
Oh, Nightmare Batman, don't die.
Oh, God.
Cyborg and Tom.
They're all so low in health at the bottom there.
Doomsday device activation in 10
Okay, I'm slowly getting used to Poison Ivy here.
Oh, that's good.
Slowly, slowly.
Our Nightmare Batman's gonna overextend and die in a second. I have a feeling.
Doomsday device
You know how you get those feelings? You're like, it's just gonna happen.
Yeah.
My children
Alright.
still need me. I'm going.
Okay, let's see here.
Our Nightmare Batman, don't die, Nightmare Batman. Oh, I'm gonna save him with the rocket. Oh, I missed it with the rocket.
dominating.
That's
Can I
bad.
save Batman Prime.
The enemy has captured a power relay.
I need to not miss with my skill shots, man. I could have saved our teammate.
Irresistible.
Well, actually, he probably would have run down and killed anyway. Cyborg is so freaking fast. I'm afraid of them, man. Without this turret to protect me.
Ah, run.
Without the turret to protect me, I'm much more scared, Joker.
Yeah. I'm trying to stay patient at the bottom.
Yep.
Trying to figure out all my abilities. I'm getting there.
So once you get a lot of cooldown reduction, spamming the W is really strong when they... Oh, they're trying to ambush me. They think they're clever.
Ah.
But I've got sensor turrets.
Very
Because I am more clever.
Sensor turrets.
Very useful. to
Turrets
have.
that enable you to sense.
Yep. Alright, I think they're called surveillance cameras, so I'm just going to keep calling them sensor
Oh,
turrets.
fair enough.
Oh,
Surveillance
shoot!
cameras.
I didn't have one there. Luckily,
Oh,
I'm
no.
the Joker. Can't catch me. Oh! He yanked me back into him.
No!
Ally defeated.
God,
I
that's
heard
such a
Ally
strong
defeated.
combo.
I heard Ally defeat. Oh, I'm getting
Yeah.
run out.
I did alright there, though, and I had to buy immediately. But their combo is so strong there at the top. Cyborg plus a guy who can yank you into him is just brutal. How you guys doing at the bottom over there?
A little bit of a skirmish happening.
Oh, nice.
The enemy is relentless.
The poison, double poison ivy ultimates. Oh, don't die, Atomic Wonder Woman. If you use your W on her, if you got her on cooldown. Yeah. Also keep track of your passive. Oh, you might kill that guy.
Ah, die!
Is he gonna die?
Yes. I don't know if that was worth it.
Enemy
I hope I got that kill.
defeated.
What? How did I not get that kill? I don't understand.
You know what? The game hates you.
The
That's
game hates me. I hit him. I promise I did. Obviously.
You didn't get the kill because the game hates you.
Okay, where do I go next? Amulet devices.
I go Dr. Destiny's Dreamstone.
Where's that guy?
You have your amulet maxed out?
Yeah.
All right, it's cost 250. It's a power item.
Power 250.
Yeah.
Radiant shard.
It's near the bottom left, I think.
Logos.
The very bottom left. Or
Gorilla
not.
Grodd's helmet.
Uh,
Dr. Destiny's Dreamstone.
yeah. Read that one and
Got
see
it.
what it does, and get that up as. It's cooldown reduction. It's will regen, so you can just spam your abilities like a maniac.
Okay.
You're looking for, I think, cooldown reduction just so you can be a monster. Just
Gosh, we only have one kill between our entire team.
yep,
Dude, there's cyborgs. 5-0.
yep.
What's going on here?
Hey,
No, look
most-
at our power relay. Ah!
I don't know if we can stop that. Don't go there. You're gonna die. You're gonna die.
I got Gaslight Joker with
Sure, all right, I'll go to help you guys then.
me. Yeah.
I feel we're gonna
We
die.
might.
There, oh, by the way, there's a cyborg heading down there too. Oh, nice. There's only one. I thought there's two. I'm behind that cyborg. We can ambush him.
You have defeated an enemy.
Oh, come on. You got juked, Nick.
I did get juked.
You got juked.
It's all right.
Enemy power relay unlocked.
I might die here if I'm not careful.
I might die too.
Enemy is
See, their cyborg's so freaking strong there. I even hit my ultimate on him, and he's just too strong.
Hmm.
See, that's where if you eat me, if I got one more
I thought
thing,
I did.
maybe you did.
I tried it like a million times. I'm
Yeah.
still getting used to the.
It could be. It could be he just had so much damage it didn't even matter. But if I got one more punchy off, he would have died because my damage is getting kind of decent.
Oh, they're gonna get the power relay after all that.
Yeah, there's just two of them down there. I'd be careful.
I'm just trying to be annoying, I guess.
If you can be annoyed for long enough, I can come. Nah.
Too
That
low.
Atomic Green Lantern is really freaking scary too, by the way.
power relay.
Man.
Back to base.
Maybe both of us should go top. I think we could be a good combo.
Oh.
Oh, I'm coming behind him. If I can just, I got a meter in my hand too.
Enemy has
That was well done, actually. I like what you did there.
Get him.
I'm gonna die if I do this.
Dang it. Okay.
Ah.
Oh, we have an AFK. I didn't know that.
Yeah, we've had AFK for.
No.
Because he was. Well, it's almost better. Like he just fed them and then.
No. Oh well.
I
Okay.
keep missing.
Dr. Destiny's Dreamstone. Okay, let's see. QWW use on them. ENU.
Oh, run! I just barely escaped there.
Should I go top?
We got a kill and both got away.
Gotta stop giving away our power relays.
Oh shoot! They're everywhere. I
Coming.
tried to run one way and there's
I'm coming.
Poison Ivy, there's Cyborg.
I shielded you.
Thank you. There's Poison Ivy to the left, by the way. We gotta be careful. I'm really low as well.
They're all pretty low right now.
Yeah. If I can connect with a punchy, I feel like we should chase him, but we have no one who can charge. I guess you're the one that's in charge.
Let's go.
Yeah, they might have gone away.
Yeah, I guess gotta clear out these drones. New power relay operation. Are they
Should we
going
go for the
there?
top relay? They might have all
We
gone
should.
back. If we just
Yeah.
run straight
Go,
there,
go.
because they're hurt, right?
They
We
are
might be able to
hurt.
get it.
You're hurt too, though.
Uh oh. Wait.
Go.
Holy moly, I almost died there. I have my ultimate up if you can distract them. Oh, shoot!
Oh.
They came in from behind. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I think it was a worthy risk. I don't know. Maybe it didn't work out, but I'm not not sure if that was a bad call or not to go for that.
If
If-
we had one more guy. If I was Gaslight Batman.
There was 4 of them,
see.
so because the 3 more came in from behind us and just kind of clobbered us.
500 credits. Can't do much with that.
No, not too much. You're still working on Dr. Destiny, right?
Do we have like a damage dealer? Okay, I guess I need to stay with you.
I'm pretty good at dealing damage. It's
Yeah.
just
We don't have like an attack damage dealer. We don't have like a
I mean,
like a Gaslight Batman or a Cyborg.
yeah,
I mean,
I'm like their main damage dealer basically.
I'll just stick with you from now on.
Yeah, the problem is
Check
me
you
just
to
staying
see.
alive long enough. And they have so much damage output with their Cyborg. Their Cyborg is just ruthless.
Enemy is ferocious.
By the way, there's an Atomic Green Lantern here. We gotta
Yeah,
be
I mentioned.
careful. We should just play back.
I'm going.
I'm gonna throw a present out just to slow him down a bit. I have my ultimate up, but they cluster here. Kind of worried about. Oh, Cyborg's in the middle. He's coming. We're safe from him. I'm gonna pick up a. Oops. Oh, you can't put a surveillance camera. You have a thing in your hand. Trying to keep these guys back as far as possible. Yeah, I get that meteor.
Dare you to come at me. Come at me, bro. Where'd they go?
Cyborg is lurking somewhere.
Yeah,
We gotta be a little bit
scared.
careful
Come
about
on.
him. Do you see him? Do you see him? Should we
Yeah.
get him?
Yeah.
Throw the meteor.
Yes.
Yes. His ultimate hurts. I kind of dove him just because I knew we'd get the kill and I wanted to be the other way, so I took a lot of damage there, but I almost actually died to that.
Wait, what skin is that? I'm having trouble. Who is that?
That's Atomic Green Lantern. He's a new character just released like, yesterday.
Oh. Okay, I've never.
Yeah, he's actually really freaking scary. You know how like there's like a lasso from Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
He has the inverse lasso, like pulls you to him.
Whoa.
That's how we kept dying at the top. He just pull us into Cyborg,
Interesting.
and then Cyborg would just like
Oh,
two-shot
that's
us.
a great combo.
Because it stuns you too, right? He's like stuns and he can yank you, and it was just
Let me go back and buy here. Let me think.
he had a pretty brutal combination.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and buy and finish up my Dr. Destiny's Dreamstone.
Next one, I think it's called either Cosmic Staff or hold on, I might die if I do this, but we'll look at it. It's called
Ooh,
What's
bottom's getting pressured.
oh, Fatality's Energy Lance. It's like the middle of the top row of power damage items. It costs 500. Should I go bottom or should I keep pushing top?
You're good fishing. Just keep
Yeah.
getting experience and
Yeah, I need to get strong.
yeah. Get strong.
I'm kind of scared though. I'm not sure if I want to push any further right now.
There were 3 at the bottom, but they're kind of.
Poison Ivy's coming up to take our relay. Should we fight for our relay?
Yeah, we should. Let me kind of sneak in that direction. Might pick up a meter on the way. If they don't get caught off guard.
I'm just gonna do a Poison Ivy.
I'm coming.
She's almost dead. I can just kill her. If you cut her off, actually, she's
I
dead.
have a meteor. Oh,
Oh.
she juked me.
She juked me too. It's alright. She's not going anywhere. Oh, no!
Careful. Oh my god, they're all here. Help, team. Where's my team? Team. Team.
Oh, I almost killed him even though I had a shredded life. Do you see that? I brought him down to the withers, but I couldn't quite. They set that up good. Poison Ivy played a good bait. Although if we didn't miss our skill shot, she would have died. By the way, their Atomic Connection is hurt. See that Yankee does?
Oh God, they're so
Cyborg-
low. Joker, go in there and
Dude,
kill him.
I don't think he can.
Wait, did you die?
Yeah, I died.
Oh man, they were so low.
I
If we get a good team fight, like this is doable.
yeah.
It's just
Well,
run
our,
out.
our team fight combination is pretty good.
Yeah.
If we have the problem, you know, the big problem there is me and you are in the front, and me need to be in the back in this
Yeah.
fights. Because like I can deal a ton of damage right now. It's
Sure.
just the problem that
Yeah.
if they go after me, you know.
All right.
Dang it.
So now we're kind of forced to work as a team since we're running out of real estate.
Yeah.
So,
So that's a good thing, right?
hopefully things get a bit better.
I'm gonna go back and just I'll use my potion. It's fine. They're backing up and getting all the relays.
Yeah, they're getting all three.
We can't really do much about that.
Power relay.
All right.
I am a lover. And
From here, where do we go? That's the question.
We need to get some vision. I'm gonna put. Oh, we'll kill this turret. This will help. I was wrong because they knew I had a turret there earlier, and my turret disappeared. So they must have done the same thing we just did.
it's harvest time.
Okay, so
Oh,
they're
we should kill. Oh shit! The little minion killed my. God damn it.
Where?
It's the
Oh.
little guys that spawn from the relays. They actually kill your sensor towers. So I lost my sensor tower.
Dude,
there.
see, we're extending a bit here. I'm a little scared, but
Yeah. Without Gaslight, I think we need to get
like
saved
we
with
need
Gaslight
we need
Joker.
to be together, kind of a thing. I think if we're gonna go out this far.
I don't know where to go right now.
I think
I'm
just playing
scared-
defensive and
I'm
chilling.
scared to walk through the middle.
Yeah, you don't
Our
want to do
Gaslight
that.
Joker's. Maybe we should just go along the
He's
bottom.
being a crazy person.
But without him, like he's the backbone of our team,
He is.
right?
So I'm thinking about actually going to where he is.
Or
But-
should we help the top?
Okay, so there's two at the bottom, one at the top. What is Gaslight
Maybe we can
Joker up
converge
to?
at the bottom. Just Cyborg. They don't have their Atomic Green Lantern. He's like the linchpin for their combos. So at the bottom we might make something happen. Except Gaslight Joker's not.
Gaslight Joker, what are you up to, man?
We gotta be careful. We can just like keep him back a little bit. You know, just try to defend our turrets basically.
Yeah. Get this meteor up here. Why are they coming after me?
Our bottom turret is under
Okay, Gaslight Joker came back. Good.
Witness nature.
I have a meteor.
I have a level 3 ultimate.
Uh-oh.
What's happening?
Batman's going
Up
one-on-one.
top.
Trying to
You guys got him. I have to defend the bottom. Just when it's a turret. They've got a Gaslight Joker. They got a bunch of guys. They got Cyborg down here. I can hold the turret though. Oh, maybe I can't. Jeez, Cyborg is so freaking strong. I'm using my ultimate to hopefully kill
coming
him.
down just by
God,
time.
even the ultimate, he's too strong.
Well, at least you're still alive.
I'm gone.
Yeah, but we lost the turret, which I should have been able to defend.
No, Joker.
Cyborg just looked at our turret and then died. Alright, should I go up there? I guess I should, huh? Oh, shoot. That was scary. There's a Poison Ivy coming across the bottom. She thought better of it.
Keep them away. Keep them away. All right.
I gotta. No, I don't need to go back and heal. Maybe we can get a kill here. I don't want to pursue too far. I'm gonna grab another item.
My focus right now is just protecting anyone who overextends.
Yep.
That's
If we can get a really good team fight, basically, if they get too cocky, is our goal.
Oh, careful,
Make them
Batman.
cocky.
Batman, you are a crazy man.
Very well.
Keep them back.
I'll offer them presents.
Okay.
I'm gonna go throw a present over here to push this thing a little bit. Uh oh, there's Tom Green Lantern.
Nice hand toss.
Oh! Ah, Poison Ivy took the hit. That might have killed Gaslight Joker. But she actually ran in front of him. That was a noble. They're going for a relay. Should we
Noble.
try to stop it or not?
Uh,
I think we just
no.
die.
stay alive is the main goal here. Oh my god, how did I die so fast? What killed me?
Atomic Green Lantern.
Wow, I didn't even see him
Might be able to
shooting
kill
me
him,
or
though.
whatever he
Oh
does.
shoot, Cyborg's there.
Run. Oh, guess I Joker didn't overextend. Dang, I made a mistake there. Shouldn't have died. Okay, so I've. Well, what did you say after?
I think it's either called Fatality's Energy Dance or Cosmic Staff. It's at the top middle, costs 500. It gives power damage and cooldown reduction.
Zace goggles. You said it's under attack.
Oh no, sorry, power. It's
Oh,
under
okay.
power, but it gives power damage and cooldown reduction.
Pandora's.
It's like in the top middle row of it. It's in
Cosmic
the
Staff.
top row and kind of in the middle. Costs
Fatality's
500.
energy list.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that's it.
Okay.
All right. Let's let them overextend.
Yeah. Poison Ivy overextended. Get her! Oh, I missed the rocket. That would have been a kill.
Enemy defeated.
Ah! I got hammed.
Oh, I'm gonna die to Cyborg.
Enemy is dominated.
No!
He's too fast.
Gosh.
Has captured
I hit him with the ultimate. I just don't. He's just too far ahead of us in
Pretty
credits.
bad.
Right.
Poison Ivy.
It's all good.
enemy triple kill.
Oh, are we gonna die here? Who's left alive? Oh, I forgot we have the AFK guy.
Yeah.
So triple kill.
I don't think we'll die here. We should be fine.
If Cyborg hits his E, yeah, I think we're gonna die here.
Nah. I'll be back.
Watch it.
guys.
Watch our last turret if Cyborg wants to kill it. Oh, he's playing safe.
Oh, they. Poison Ivy teleported.
I'm coming back in 10 seconds, by the way. Oh, we'll be fine here.
We're not dead yet.
But one turret is worse than two, and there's a big wave of drones coming across the top. I'm gonna try to slow those down. We're all kind of just.
Oh,
shoot!
careful.
I got hammed right into them. Ham is freaking strong, man.
Drones are everywhere.
Yeah. Our Batman pulled a nice move there. Meanwhile, Cyborg killed our turret. Kind of unfortunate. We gotta get Cyborg, gives her damage
An enemy is
if we
dominated.
can.
Ah!
Too much stuff, man.
Dead. Might be
Die,
dead.
Cyborg!
Might be dead.
I'm dead.
I'm dead too.
Yeah, I think.
Like they purposely stopped attacking the
Yeah.
power to kill us.
They just wanted more
man.
kills.
I want a redo on that one. It's alright. Those games happen. Learned a little bit.
They
Learned
just,
a little bit.
yep,
They had a good team coordination.
they did. You know, they had
and
more
effort.
coordination. I missed some skill shots there that I shouldn't have missed.
And I was just getting used to Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
How'd you like feeling there? Was your cooldown reduction getting pretty good near the end? Were you able
Yeah.
to just?
Spam a lot of abilities. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
getting there. Still
I mean, if you
undecided.
just
I
look
don't know if it's the champion for me, which
Yeah.
is fine.
It's not for everyone.
Yeah.
That game though was just the credit difference. Every champion gets kind of rigged. When,
I feel like I'm more of a guy who wants to really dictate the action and
yep.
close situations. Poison Ivy's interesting abilities. Like the Q can kind of like it's a very skill-based shot.
Well, you know what Meg was telling me is if he hits him with the meteor,
yeah.
then he hit with the Q, it's just
Ah.
like they're stunned forever.
See, I didn't use my meteor enough.
Yeah. The meteor it's tricky. It's one of the harder skill shots to hit because it doesn't travel super fast. The range is actually pretty short with the
Yep.
meteor. But remember the one time he hit the one guy with the meteor and he just died instantly?
Yeah.
With me and you when he was hiding in the shadows?
Yes.
Yeah, the meteor,
Yeah.
if you land a meteor shot, it's often a kill. And especially with the root, and if for someone like Joker and I have like the stun with the
Yeah.
Mr. Punchy and
Timing the ultimate is pretty tough too.
oh yeah,
Now that it's only healing.
yeah. You can't like you need to be on them to do something, right?
Right.
You can't be like it's always easier to time it on your team.
Yep.
And before it's like their Joker throws their ultimate. Oh, you just put yours on top of it. Duh. Alright, it's done.
Then
Now
they
it's a little
combine
trickier.
for
Yeah.
crazy damage. But no, Poison Ivy, a lot of fun. I need a bit more practice with her.
Yeah.
I need a bit more practice. That was pretty much my first time playing with her.
Maybe if you go vegetarian for a little bit. Actually, no, wait.
Right.
Meatitarian, because she likes
Meatitarian.
plants, but not animals. So
Yes.
don't eat any vegetables for about a week.
Okay.
Your poison
I
ivy play.
do that anyway, so
Yeah,
that's a good point.
you'll be set.
But yeah, guys, try out Poison Ivy. More of a support type champion.
Yeah.
Requires a bit of practice to get good, at least I think.
Yeah. She's one of the trickier ones.
Yeah, but guys, that's gonna wrap up this edition of Crisis Watch. Again, every week we focus on a new champion in the game of Infinite Crisis, a MOBA game type featuring your favorite superheroes and supervillains. If you're looking for a beta key, tweet at MLG, check out the Facebook of Infinite Crisis, and you'll get hooked up with one. Really fun game. Definitely jump in and try it out and start getting good, because it's a game that's gonna get pretty darn big, and it gets better and better every time I play. And it's getting better every week as they keep making changes to the game. Still is in the closed beta, so don't know necessarily what to expect, but definitely worth checking out. That being said, we're done for the day. Thanks for watching.